So what I've been requested to do is have some provocative ideas about design of clinical trials and how should we positioning ourselves for the future so that we can make rapid progress. So I'm going to be speaking on novel designs of clinical trials that we've otherwise not considered before, and with the avalanche of clinical molecular data, how we could design these trials because it's possible now. And the other area that I'll be sort of focusing on is what is the kind of clinical trials research infrastructure that needs to be built so that we can carry out these clinical trials. Because now we understand that these brain tumors are molecularly very distinct subgroups. So to have rapid enrollment, we've got to work across the Atlantic, Europe and North America together. And to be able to do this and meet the regulatory requirements of the European agencies and the FDA on our side, we need to really hit the refresh button and think how are we going to achieve this. Well, traditionally we've designed trials to improve the cure rate, and I think though that's a very important point, we're not ready for those large randomized trials as of yet. What we need to do is shorter, more efficient trials, which are called umbrella trials, basket trials, adaptive trial designs, which can quickly match up molecular targeted therapies or precision therapies with the subgroup of tumors and sort of get an early signal whether these approaches are working or not, and if they're not working, we move on. And I think for the next 5 to 7 years, if we conduct such trials, then we will be able to sort of frame the questions in bigger trials down the road. I think we're not ready yet to do the large randomized trials that we were used to doing a decade ago. Well, so first thing is the tissue processing and handling. We need labs which are centralized and have standardized tests. In the US, we call it CLIA environments, labs which are certified so the results are consistent throughout. And then I'm sure in Europe, in the UK, I know for medulloblastoma there are 3 centers of excellence. In Germany now they've got certain centers, in France they're getting certain centers. So all these are sort of speaking the same language. So when tissue comes either from the UK or from Germany or from France, the output is the same so they can enroll on the studies. I think that's one very important step. It's no longer just looking at the slide under the microscope. It's generating the molecular genomics analysis of these tumors. The second part of doing this is having trial databases set up, again, across North America and across Europe, so that data is being remotely entered by web-based systems. So it doesn't matter if you enroll a patient in Newcastle or we enroll a patient in Memphis, the data is coming in simultaneously. And we need to start thinking globally and using technology and infrastructure, web-based, that allows us to do this. It's going to happen because meetings like this will give us an impetus to start working together. I think it's just a mental block that investigators have not thought about it in that way. And part of that pressure is going to come from the market. By market, I mean parents. I get a lot of requests from family. In fact, I just got one last night from a mother in the UK. And I feel that if we work together and have these systems in place, parents don't have to come running around and halfway around the world to get the therapy. We should be able to establish 3-4 centers in each country which can do these high-end sophisticated studies so that we can merge the data and move forward. And I think it's going to take a little bit of effort, but once we break that barrier, it sort of will become the standard. So one trial that I've been working on, for the last 2 decades is we've now got a medulloblastoma, which is the most common malignant pediatric brain tumor. And we've been gradually expanding our footprint So this trial is the first trial in North America to really assign treatment based on the clinical and molecular risk features. And we've now expanded this trial into Canada, New Zealand, and Australia. So that's one of the models we've created, that we can actually do this. The tissue comes to St. Jude, and then we analyze the tissue and then assign the risk stratum. And now we are working with colleagues in Europe to we've done this part of the world, we want to start working with this part of the world, and we've initiated negotiations of our best friends, the lawyers, are working out the contracts so that we can start making that happen on this side too. So.